kind of learn as we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna start it up.
Yep. All right. So, hello everybody out there, and welcome to today's episode of Who's Developing Now here on Who's Gaming Now. We are getting into Habitat, and we have a very awesome person here with us. We have Charles Cox, who is, actually, I didn't look. You're what on the project exactly?
I'm the designer of the game, and I founded the studio that's making it. So, kind of that crazy guy that sunk all his savings into making video games. I call myself the founder of the studio.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, this is Habitat. We played it maybe a month or so ago on the Who's Gaming Now. Actually, the early and the late show. We gave it a little bit of love. It's pretty fun, but it's definitely going to be, I guess, a little bit of me relearning it here. So I'm actually going to go back to the tutorial real quick and remind myself of all of the controls here.
All right. It's still very early. In this new version that's out right now, we replaced the kind of like the how to play screen with an actual interactive tutorial. So you can kind of walk yourself through the simple stuff, and then I've got a few tips for kind of some more advanced stuff as you go.
Cool. So create an engineer down here.
Right, so you're going to want to move and rotate your camera first, and you're going to have to do WSAD, QE, and then zoom in and out as well. So there you go. Done.
Yeah. All right, Happy Burger Stand. So click on this.
Right.
Oh, click on this. Get one of the endpoints nearby here, and then I can specifically. Now, what was it to rotate? V and B.
Z and C, I think.
Z and C, rather.
And then V and B are they're kind of like more advanced keys if you want to change the actual connection point or flip it around. You can use V and B.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. See, there. Yeah. I'm doing that thing again. I'm like 15 seconds behind.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Wait, no, stop.
Yeah, so Burger Stand is hooking up here. I've got it kind of off at an angle. That's pretty much the tutorial, right? Or I guess we.
That's the first part of the tutorial. So then you're going to go into flying your habitat around, and then you're going to go into destroying a target. So just the first three parts of the tutorial, and then all the new features that we're rolling out for our next update. We're going to update the tutorial to have advanced lessons with some of the new stuff that we're putting in.
Emergency stop. I don't remember emergency stop before.
Well, it's always been there, but it's kind of been hidden. So whatever habitat you're controlling, you can click emergency stop. It kills all the boosters, and then it slows you down, but it vents Omni, which you'll see in your top left there. That's your crystalline kind of resource.
I gotcha. So, how do I assign the hotkeys or use the hotkeys for the thrusters?
So, the easiest thing to do is to just highlight something and press the R key, and that gives you the first open number that isn't used by anything else.
Okay.
There you go.
So I need to steer to the destination there. So just need the one to rotate, and then fire them both up. I really like the kind of the weight and feel of everything, that you actually have to, have things on and off for certain periods of time to get the right sort of thrust going.
Yeah.
It's it definitely makes it so you have to plan things. You're not zipping around like a little frigate. You're in a giant station, and it moves like a giant. There was what was the line from Futurama? She drives like a steakhouse but handles like a bistro.
She handles like a bistro. I speak, of course, of the ancient art of karaoke.
Yeah, I could see a lot of influence from a lot of sci-fi and space things. Of course, not just Futurama, but I see a lot of like Star Trek and that sort of stuff going on with this. What are some of the main inspirations for you and the team for kind of what you guys put into it here?
I think there's a lot of different influences. Like you said, I mean, this is such a hodgepodge of things. The four of us at the studio have got such wildly different like influences. I myself, like, I'm huge like Star Trek and Star Wars, and some weirder fiction like a book called Cities in Flight by James Blish, which is all about flying cities and some of the stuff they do. Some of our other guys here are huge anime and anime fans, and so a lot of the big space anime, they're trying to get me to watch them. And they're like, "Have you seen this one?" No, I'm kind of like ignorant American, and I just like the sci-fi I like. But they bring a lot of their art influence from what they've watched into it, and so there's stuff here I don't recognize. And yeah, Futurama is a huge influence for me because just of how wacky it was. And then we're all huge gamers, and so if you think about stuff like Homeworld as kind of like the one that kicked it all off for space strategy for me, but there's even stuff like the old X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and games that
that was the funny thing for me. I played X-Wing and I played TIE Fighter, but I never played X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Well, you basically played it at this point. It's just more goodness. It was always X-Wing versus TIE Fighter when you played either game. It's just now there's a game called that.
Yeah. And I think they recently released a new one that's.
Now you might want to shut booster number 2 off.
Oh yeah, I thought I shut that off. Whoops. Oh well, that's fine. It's getting it closer. Yeah. Makes it easier for the engineer. It doesn't really.
It's true. And actually, when you have something small like just like a one-off, like the tank that's just free floating, of course you can send your engineers to go grab it and stick it on your station. But if you want to merge one full habitat with another habitat, say you have 2 of them, you actually do have to use the rockets to maneuver them close enough to manually create a link between the two. So precision flying is important.
Gotcha.
And this tutorial won't actually go into creating a secondary habitat, but we can try it because it is a lot of fun to do that and kind of have like little sub-scouts and things you can create.
So I'm supposed to click to fire, okay.
Right, so now you click the tank when it's connected, and then it'll activate its gun.
Gotcha. And it's a click to fire, not an auto fire sort of thing, so you have to manually... oh, whoops, wrong thruster.
No, right,
that was the right thruster.
Yeah. So you can actually do a few things. You can hotkey any weapon so it fires when you press the key.
Okay.
And also there's a mode when you get out of the tutorial, I'll show you where you can actually go and set properties on stuff like tanks, and you can set them to auto fire.
Cool.
All right, so now you're going to go and destroy the baseball stadium.
Yeah, I've got to, since I put the tank on the rear, I've got to just kind of rotate around and fire
which is fine. You'll get it.
It doesn't really seem like having a lot of arsenal on the rear does too much for you unless you, I guess maybe later on in the game or something. I only see the 1 or 2 particle clouds early on, and I think I would always get blown up trying to rotate over to attack them.
Yeah, we've changed the balance a little bit so you don't get like swarmed with particle clouds right away. We got lots of feedback like, "Whoa, this is way too hard out of the gate. I just want to build my stuff." And we heard that right away. And so in this version, you don't have to worry too hard about it. And I don't know whether or not the tank shell is gonna be able to reach the stadium from there. It might be too far.
Looks like
away.
It's a little too far. How do I break a connection?
In the tutorial, we've actually restricted it so you can't. But since this is the last part of the tutorial, if you want, you can just break out and just go back to the main menu to play the game.
Sounds good.
Because I mean, eventually you're going to destroy the stadium. We all know that's going to happen. But I definitely want you to have like the full set of options and stuff that you can do to like break apart habitats and like tune properties. So it's probably good to just like head back to the main menu, and then we can start a game.
Yeah. So
All right,
there's the
cool.
these cow catchers. Are those just for ramming things? Are they structural?
Yeah,
What's
they have a high mass, and they also have a high armor count. So they're useful either if you want to attach them as a ramming device, or if you want to shoot them with kind of put rockets on them and just shoot them as a ramming, like a kind of a physical implement. Or if you want to use them to soak up bullets from enemy stations, you can definitely do that.
cool?
So, like not this is different than the way that it was in the previous version you played, because the enemy particles, they aren't actually here. They don't spawn in unless there's a mission where they're attacking you. And right now, the mission says neutralize station, and so there's a station out there that it's just stationary, and you can go destroy it at your leisure. So, if you need to know where it is, you can click where it says neutralize core in the top left, kind of in your mission list up
I
there.
see.
And then it'll kind of shoot you over there. And if you want to get back to your habitat, you can click the A in the top right, because that's habitat A, your first habitat.
Okay.
Now, in the update we're going to do here in a couple of weeks, we'll have a navigation help where off-screen arrows will point you to where the targets are and stuff like that. We're trying to add some usability features to make it easier. So I wouldn't say he's close, but he's not that far away. So what you want to do is you'll want to start building a station that's got a little firepower to go and take him out. And you have a choice. You can actually attach stuff to your core if you want, or you can start a brand new habitat just all on its own, just made of just the things you want.
I think that might be a better way to go. So how do I initiate something as being kind of the start point? Do I just have to get an engineer to write it and then I can build onto it?
That's how it works right now. Yeah. So if you want to take that shuttle or a cruise ship, all you have to do is click on it and move it to a nearby location that's kind of there you go. And once the engineer grabs it and puts it in place, then you can connect anything to that you want. Once you've connected one or more things together, then it becomes a second habitat. And in the top right, instead of seeing just A, you'll see A and B. And B represents your second habitat you just built.
Gotcha.
There you go. All right,
I'm
now
gonna put some fire hands on it.
cool. Now you probably already know that the shuttle has its own rocket on the back, so it functions as a thruster. But you'll probably want some stuff to help you steer it too.
Yeah, steering as well as it's gonna need a fuel supply, won't it?
So at this point in the game, all the fuel creation from your station and all that is shared among all your habitats. The science behind this is tremendously complex. I won't go into it. But if you have enough fuel up in your top left, you can burn it using any of your habitats that all shares resources for now. We want to get into some more I don't know what's the right way to say it. Some more like individual ship management things, but that comes later in the development cycle.
Gotcha.
So for now, you could just kind of it's like a potluck. You can just do whatever you want, and it'll all share up. If you do want more fuel, though, if you think you're going to be burning a ton of fuel, there's some fuel canisters around that you can attach to give yourself a production bonus.
Cool. All
And then,
right.
as you probably figured out, attaching rockets on the sides of those satellites can act as rockets too. Attaching rockets to the sides of that shuttle is the best way to probably steer left and right. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So the impossible drive is too fast or the right sort of speed?
It's a good speed, and the cool part about the impossible drive is it produces more electricity than it uses, which is why it's so impossible. Now you won't see it exactly, but if you hit V, I think a couple of times, is it V or B?
To switch the location points?
Yeah, there's a couple hidden location points under the wing of there. So if you want to pull your engines a little further back on that shuttle, there's a couple hidden attachment points underneath the wing in the back.
That's cool. That's definitely... I saw those on the cruise ship, but I wasn't sure how to access them.
Yeah, it's as long as you get close, because right now you're attaching the pieces kind of there. You see there in the back there. There you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
I think I've got the impossible drive backwards. Is the ring supposed to be towards the front or the rear?
Do you see it's got the little
The fins on it? The fins
the
are towards
fins
the
supposed
front.
to point toward the back. Oh, they're
Okay.
supposed to point toward.
I need to rotate that.
Yeah. That's okay. And also, you might want to create a few more engineers just to kind of help you multitask.
Yeah, that's. I'm seeing I need to do that. There's not really much penalty for having multiple engineers, is there?
No, there's not. Our next update is actually going to introduce a leveling system so that you level up and get XP when you do missions. And some of the rewards are that you can actually have more engineers at once. So we're going to cap the number of engineers early on to be a small number, and then as you level up, you can actually increase the level cap and you can get more engineers. Same with the size of your habitat, so people don't go building something really too big and then running into issues of scale straight away before they kind of learn the ropes.
So the Impossible Drive keeps trying to attach backwards. How can I tell it to use the other point?
That actually looks correct. The way to tell it to use the other point, I think it's the B key. B is in Bravo.
Okay.
Try
Yeah,
that.
that looks more right.
That looks correct. Perfect. What's cool about that is that they're both electrical drives, and only one of them is going to use a lot of. Oh, see, that's not quite right. Yeah. If it's not that key, if it's
B. It's definitely B.
Okay, it's B.
Yeah, B,
there you go.
B and V are the two for that. So these mines, you don't want to attach to anything. You just kind of want to avoid them, right?
Engineers can actually move them around if you want to. In fact, savvy players will use the mines and an engineer and tow the mine next to an enemy space station to blow it up.
Nice.
And if you're really, really, really careful, you can get it between the jaws of the matter accelerator without it blowing up, and you can launch it that way. But if you try to attach it to your station, it will blow up within seconds. So
Yeah.
they're very deadly.
I gotcha.
Now, one thing you can do is if you've got not a lot of construction tasks going on, but some engineers taking for frickin' ever to bring something back, you can actually tell other engineers to attach to that same piece. The more engineers that are on that piece, the faster they'll drag it back.
Nice.
There you go. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect.
Okay.
And your fireball hands for 4. So now you got something that looks pretty good.
So those are linked up to 1, 2, 3, and 4 are on that now. Is there any way we'd be able to have a toggle in the future to have the 1 through 10 on just that habitat? So if I select A again, 1, 2, 3, 4 are not being used, and I can assign them to things specific to habitat A.
Yeah, that's a feature that I've asked the team to put in. We're going to see if we can get it in for this coming update, because along with this update, we also have a camera lock function where if you click A, it actually just follows the habitat as it flies, and so that goes right in line with having unique hotkeys for habitats. So we're going to try to get it in there, and that way you don't overload yourself with hotkeys. Oh, what happened, dude?
I'm running into a gas trailer, but I managed to not completely.
Now, if you need to do an emergency stop, the space is the hotkey.
No, I'll just blow it up and get it out of the way.
There you go. Now I'm seeing it. I think you lost one of your engineers too. He smacked into the gas trailer.
Oh no.
Yeah, you just see his little engineer corpse just.
Oh, I see him over there.
Nice shot, by the way.
Thanks. Alright.
So now, one thing to kind of like track for yourself is whether or not the thrust is balanced on these bad boys. They may not be. The engines may output different levels.
They do. I've noticed that.
You could actually tune them.
Oh, nice. How do I do that?
So there's a button in the bottom left that looks like a computer, like an ancient computer, right? It's like the tower with the you can either press that or press enter to enter a mode called the HAL. It's our adjustment system.
I can't do that, Dave.
Once you're in there, you can actually select. The drives themselves. So like if you click, you see where it says Impossible Drive and you click on that, then you'll get a property sheet on the far left, and on that sheet you'll be able to actually tune the thrust potentials up and down for the thruster.
So how can I see the amount of thrust that it currently puts out?
That'll be when you click on it. So booster thrust So it's got 9,000 on the Impossible drive and the Ion drive.
They all say 9,000.
Well, then it probably has a little something to do with the fact that the Fireball hands are in the top left, and they're putting the center of mass elsewhere. So it probably means that you're going to want to turn your Impossible drive down a little bit.
Okay.
I think probably
Actually,
means you're going to be tilting off to the left. I think.
Let's see. That's a mass of 10. It's a mass of 25. I just need another object with a mass of 10 to put on the front. I'm going to get this rubber ducky on the other side.
Careful though, it's explosive. If it gets hit, it goes up pretty big.
Ooh, well,
the drill might be a good idea.
Drill's 25 mass. That's way heavy.
Way too heavy.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the duck.
Hey man, yeah, absolutely. It's your station, Commander.
Yeah. There's actually.
By the way,
go ahead.
Are you dragging any engineers with you? It looks like
No.
one of them got dispatched from the.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Can I build them at that habitat?
You can't. They can only come out of the HQ. It's one reason that you don't want to stray your HQ too far away from your scouts. But
Okay.
that's all right. He'll get there, or she'll get there. I actually can't hear.
I think it was a female voice for this. So
I gotta mute that. It's so weird.
Is there going to be a plan to get more voice acting and more of that sort of stuff in, or are you pretty much solid with the stuff that's already in the game right now?
What we really want to do is we want to have a few more classes of VO. We want there to be briefings delivered by sort of like the ground controllers. We want there to be a voice for the HAL computer. We want it to be kind of a calm, fire on deck 3, fire on deck 3. And we also, when we deliver the campaign mode, because this is just sandbox mode right now, when we deliver the campaign mode, we want there to be some key characters that have voiceover lines, so you can learn the story and kind of follow along with the narrative of Habitat.
Yeah, Luke Burtis here just gave a shout out that the models look awesome, and they do.
Super cool. Our artist Chris Chin is a DigiPen Institute of Technology graduate like I am. We come from pretty much the same class back in the day. He's done a ton of work at places like Pipeworks down in Oregon, and just has such a cool style. I'm very happy that we decided to go with the 3D models and kind of the, using the 3D world as kind of our canvas. Even though the game plays in 2 dimensions to make it easier to understand, having 3D models to play around with and deform and blow up is just so crucial.
So it still has a little bit of a bias to it, where it's kind of rotating a little bit rightward.
If it's rotating rightward, then you can. It's a little tough if you're just using engine 2. That's tricky because you can't just tune the mass down. But if you turn on engines 1 and 3, then you can kind of see what you might do to tune up or down 1 and 3 to even her out.
I gotcha. I think if I just kind of balance it along the way as I fly, it'll probably be all right because I'm almost there.
Yeah, you have that. You kind of have that ability. And one of the things that we're going to be doing in a later update is because we have the code in place for auto adjusting rockets toward a target, because that's who you're going to be fighting in the next update. We're going to be adding the ability to turn on autopilot, and you can say, hey, go this way or head this direction, head for this target, and it'll automatically turn off and on the rockets to compensate.
You know who's really going to love that? The EVE community.
I was just about to say everyone.
I say specifically EVE because that game is all about autopilot. There's no twit in that game. So I could see them definitely, enjoying something that's not, this giant space capitalism simulator, but still has all of the fun sandbox elements of playing around in space. And actually, I played it for like a year and tried to play a little bit more after this. I'm having a lot more fun than the little bit that I had played of it. This. All right, so we're getting into position here. Let me give a little rotate, line up.
Yep.
What are our ranges here? I have no idea.
Your number 4 fireball hands, they're going to have about the same range as the tank. And your duck, of course, is actually, you can set it to explode by clicking on it. It sets a 3-second timer. Now, if you don't want to do that, you have this option. You could, if you want to try something a little fancy, I'd take the engineer who's attached to you there, click on him and reassign him to the impossible drive. Get him off the duck, because if the duck blows up, your engineer is going to be toast.
Okay.
And if you scout forward and look at that station a little bit, you can see what guns are on the side you're approaching.
Gotcha.
That thing is going to start lighting you up here pretty soon, if it hasn't already. I'm a little bit behind.
So is the duck something that I can actually like fire projectiles with, or is it just an exploding thing?
It's an exploding thing, and one thing you might consider doing is if you rush the station and then you press the disconnect button to disconnect the duck, if you can get it close enough, you can fire at that, and that'll be a bomb you can use to further damage the station. It's a bit of a tricky maneuver.
Yeah, I over-rotated here. Now they're just blasting this one.
You've got 2 of the forward pieces knocked out, but it looks like they're probably going to take your engine out, huh?
Yeah. Let's just get this engineer back this way somewhere safer.
I think you might be in trouble if that shuttle goes. Oh.
You know what? Actually, I am going to put the duck over there and explode it.
Absolutely. Now, if your engineer's still alive, which means they can create a second habitat out of what they got. You've done a good job attacking that first station. At least you got the first half of it knocked out.
Let's see. I can probably use this school bus as a starting point.
Exactly. I think the school buses have a steerable thruster on them. Well, some of them do anyway.
Yeah, this one. Oh no, this one's electricity output. It looks like, or resource output.
Okay. But as long as it's got enough connectors to do some good work on, you can get a couple boosters on board, and then it's up to you if you want to do a ramming speed, or if there's weapons out there you can use. That'll be a good thing to do.
Man, all these engineers are traveling way too far here. I could see there being merit in just making transport shuttles, like just something to get your engineers from point A to point B.
Absolutely. If you combine that with autopilot, you're sitting pretty.
Nice.
In the meantime, while they're doing that, maybe if you want to bring your HQ a little bit closer, because you've got rockets on that, and that thing's mobile.
That's true.
You keep going. I'm going to be right back.
Okie dokie.
All right. What's the latest?
So I'm starting to move the HQ out a little bit. I don't want to ram too much stuff because I can see it can explode on some of the stuff up ahead here. But I definitely need to start moving it a bit closer.
Yeah, there's a good amount of open space in front of you. You can navigate that no problem.
Be easier to get around this way.
You just drag it.
Yeah, it definitely takes some practice to.
Don't forget to hotkey up. I mean, it's easier that way.
That's true. I guess the hotkeys from the other thing got taken off anyway.
Well, and even if they didn't, there's still some that are free. I think they got taken off because the habitat itself got blown up.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
I've got a couple big booster rockets I can put on the sides, actually.
Now, if you're dragging the cattle catcher like that, it probably is doing a little bit of damage to your ion drive. If you take one of your engineers and just manually assign them to that ion drive, they'll heal about 5 points of damage a second automatically.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to just get it out of the way here.
And they can do that too if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. That'll be the easiest.
There you go.
Okie dokie. So one rocket's attached. Moving stuff out the way.
It's looking pretty good. What do you got on the front there? Some kind of cannon?
Yeah, I've got the station rocket launcher, but it's not oriented properly.
Well, actually, I can help you with that. If you go back into the HAL system, you can change the rotation of any turreted object through the HAL.
Oh, nice.
We aim to please.
I see. There we go. Now it's pointed the right way. That's cool. I didn't even know about that HAL system before.
We gotta build another tutorial for that. Now, if you're in the HAL, while you were in the HAL, you may have noticed that the ion drive had kind of a yellow square on it rather than a green square like everything else. That's just a quick reminder that the health is low on that ion drive, so it definitely needs a little bit of love.
This one here, yeah.
So if you just assign an engineer manually to it, they can heal it up.
Cool. Alright, so let's do 3. How do I oh, okay, there we go.
You got it figured out?
Yeah. Now, can I add additional tethers? Should I add additional tethers from these big booster rockets so they don't fall off when I try to turn?
I definitely would do that, and I think it sounds like you already know how to do that by clicking the chain button on the bottom left there.
Yeah.
Reinforcing is always a good idea unless your goal is actually to use it as a sacrificial rocket, which you can do. So like for instance, these big rockets are highly explosive, and what you can do is when you get close to the enemy station, you can actually turn them on and then break all the connectors and then just use it as a missile. Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. And believe it or not, we actually have a feature where if you're in the destroy connector mode, which is the broken chain mode there, and you hover over a connector you want to destroy, you can hit the R key and you can hotkey the destruction of the connector.
Oh, wow.
So if your plan really is to just put 2 rockets on the duck and just disconnect that at the last second and send it at the enemy station, you can totally do that and just hotkey it all up.
That's awesome. I mean, it seems like just a rocket on a duck and just sending the whole thing in would be pretty effective too.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. You just need to get it going fast enough so that they don't detonate the duck with their own cannons before it gets there, and then because that'd blow up everything.
Gotcha. So
This looks nice and sturdy to me.
4. All right. Well, let's see how we can do with it here.
Right on. Now, if you want, you can use control and a number key to directly indicate which number you want for the hotkey. So, kind of like StarCraft style or Command and Conquer style.
Can I assign 2 rockets to 1 key?
Yes, you use Control, Shift, and the number. So, you can assign 1 and 1, and then 2 and 2 on each side.
There we go.
Yeah, trying to make it easy. You know us.
Ooh, let me slow down here and not destroy that rocket launcher, and then attach it to the
Nice.
ship.
There you go. And it looks like you got lots of electricity, fuel, and Omni, so you're looking really good for the battle here.
Cool. Alright, and I gotta, I guess, re-establish all of the supporting connectors here. Rocket. Look to
Looks
shoot
good.
rockets.
Since that rocket is not that rocket launcher is not overly heavy or overly away from the center of mass, you're probably not going to have a lot of problem with it.
Still gonna attach it up a little just to use the extra reinforcement points.
It's all right, man. You're the commander, and this is all about decisions. That's good. Now, for the constructor or connector happy habitat commander, we are going to be limiting the maximum number of connectors that you can have to put your habitat together as part of that like leveling and XP system,
Cool.
which we'll be introducing in the next update. But again, the buffer you get, the more XP you get, the bigger you can build. You probably want to right click to exit the add connector mode as you because it's still currently on.
Oh yeah.
And then if you want, you can hotkey up your rocket launchers on the front there so that you have quick access to those.
There we go. I'll just link them up. If I'm going to fire
Sounds
one,
good.
I might as well fire them both.
Absolutely.
What's
yeah.
this? Another Omni Thruster? I think what I'm actually going to do with this... I'll just steer around it.
One thing I've found that's been pretty successful is that you can stick the rockets as you do on the front or on the sides of your habitat, and you put an Omni Thruster on the rear
To give
then
it
that
forward
acts-
thrust, yeah.
Actually, you don't use that as forward thrust. You can actually use it as a rudder.
Ooh.
Yeah. By putting just a bit of thrust left or right on the rear side of the ship while all your rockets are in operation, you can actually make some nice subtle changes to which direction you're going without turning your rockets off, so you don't
Very
lose any
cool.
speed.
Very
Now, as you notice, your electricity and fuel are going down a bit because your rockets are pretty heavy on usage. You should have enough to reach the station, but once you get there, you might want to scout for some more stuff to produce things. So looking for fuel tanks or electrical generators of some kind. If you find retired satellites, they have solar panels on them, which provide solar power, plus their rockets as well. So they're kind of a dual purpose thing.
How can I kind of scroll through where my engineers are at? Because I know I left one or two of them hanging out there earlier.
We don't have a good way to do that, though. I think what would make sense is maybe later on, where if you see you got 3 engineers up there in your top left, maybe
Yeah.
by clicking on the engineer count, maybe we can scroll through them. I'll put that in the bug list. That's a really good idea. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of those things. Like I think about Warcraft, Starcraft, those sorts of games, and how you really do need to be able to access everybody everywhere.
Yeah, where's my next worker? Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll just move the duck. That's gonna be the easiest here.
You're doing good. This is good. This is good movement. It seems like the station's pretty balanced. The only trick is that you're going to be approaching the enemy space station on a gun side.
I'm maybe not as worried about that, I guess, because I'm gonna
All
be
right.
coming at them guns forward here.
That's true. You are. That's right.
They've only got one actually point. Now, when it comes to a big battle, is that the sort of thing where I would constantly be going back into HAL, switching the angles, firing, going back into HAL, switching the angles, firing again, that sort of thing? Is that how it works, or is it more like you're kind of expected to keep the guns in the same place till the end of the battle?
Well, the trick is that what we did with HAL was we paused time so that everything that you do, all the setting changes that you make are instantaneous, and you don't have to take your mind off the you don't have to be thinking about being blown up as you're making these changes. And based on that, I'd say people who want to be really proficient at these big battles, they're going to be going into HAL and doing these kind of tweaks a lot. Right now, you won't see enemies in HAL, so it's a little hard to train your guns on them. But in the next update coming up, we have enemies in HAL, so you can visualize exactly where your stuff should be pointing. So we want it to be a good ally for you in combat, and we actually intend to use the HAL for a lot more stuff as we go. So you'll be building upgrades there. You'll be managing your engineers.
You'll see it. I got shots on before they even got close, so pretty well
Nice.
lined it up there.
Yeah, man, I'm watching. I'm watching. Oh, those are good hits. Oh, that is awesome.
It
Nice work.
might be a boat, but
Yeah, man. Yeah, but it's a gunboat, which is awesome. So it says collect reward. I think if you click the collect reward, it'll show you where it is. I'm not sure where it warped in.
it's a crate power up. Yeah, it's actually almost back towards where I started. So
Oh shoot. You can send an engineer to do it, and then in the meantime, kind of work to heal up your station. Don't forget, since you brought your HQ over here, you can create more engineers, and they'll pop out right there at HQ.
That's
you'll
true.
You'll need to attach that crate to your habitat for the reward collection to go through.
gotcha.
So you'll probably want to tell your engineer to do that. And then once that mission is complete, then we'll spawn
Does it have to
something
be
else
on the main habitat, or can it be on any habitat?
I think it's got to be on the HQ, but once it's attached, you can just clip it right back off. It gives you 1,000 of each resource, so it'll be a nice fuel boost for you as well as other stuff.
Cool.
So, and then once that's completed, at that point, then you can then we'll spawn another mission for you. It might be nanomachines are coming in to attack you. It might be another station, and then in our upcoming update, we have got a ton of new enemies, and I really wish we had that up and live and running for you right now. You just kind of have to wait. But we've got giant enemy saw blades with rockets that are coming try to chop you up, and different nanomachine types, resource vampires, connection destroyers, bruisers that just try to physically punch your habitat in a certain direction. There's a lot going on. Plus, there's station-to-station combat we've been playing around with. So stations of different factions actually fighting each other, hunting down stations that are trying to escape. So we're starting to recombine all these components and all the bones of the game and just do crazy stuff. It's really a lot of fun. I feel like with Habitat we've done a lot of the hard work early to make a system that's very flexible, and now we're stretching that and doing crazy missions and stuff. So the first of those are going to be showing up here when this next update goes live.
That's pretty cool.
We want this to be kind of a platform for endless adventures. So
It's definitely got the makings of it already.
I appreciate that. Thank you. This has been kind of a crazy. It's been a crazy dream for me. I think back to a lot of the playing with Legos and Kinects and all these other things when I was a kid, and I always made spacecraft, spaceships and space stations and stuff.
So my brother actually made an X-wing with a working escape pod ejection seat sort of thing. He actually used some of the smooth Legos along the bottom so that when the cockpit piece opened, you could pop the whole driver's seat out. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's pretty cool.
That is geeky in the way that I love. I think that is so cool. Here's a question. Let's see. Is it Arudinel?
Yeah, hey, good job.
Asks about a Cylon base star clone. Here's what I will say. Habitat has a junk workshop feature that's linked up to Steam Workshop. So by creating your own models or having a friend create them, you can actually put them in the game, share them on Steam Workshop, and then you can have your own. Whatever you want. So we've heard about, I want to do the RV from Spaceballs, and I want to do, Battlestar Galactica.
The Winnebago.
We showed that at PAX. We couldn't release it for reasons that must be all too obvious.
Yeah.
But we, as far as the community creating this stuff on Steam Workshop, it's open season. We really can't say you can or can't do this. So if it's something that you're really interested in and you want to make that stuff, and then share it on Steam Workshop, it's all available for you in Habitat. We released that with our last update, and it's been pretty cool to see people making their own things.
Awesome. All right, so I haven't been able to find another nearby thruster to put on this bus, so it might just be a little lopsided initially.
Oh, that's
Oh wait,
all right.
here's another Omni thruster. Perfect.
All right.
Then all I need is another punching glove, and I'm gonna have the evil ramming bus.
That's great. Is that reward crate still coming back to you?
I should check on that.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Because I thought I sent, maybe that engineer decided to go do something else for some
Now,
reason.
a feature that we are very happy to bring to our next update that I think people are going to love is the ability to call in certain deliveries. So the two that we have that are actually the two that we have that are going to come in right now in the next update are the ability to call in additional booster rockets and the additional weaponry. So by spending Omni, and it's not cheap, but it's totally worth it. If you're stuck out there with no booster, actually Earth will fire one up for you, so that you can take advantage of it.
Nice. All right. So
Yeah.
loot crate, loot crate, loot crate. It looks like they're no longer trying to collect it.
Uh-oh.
I guess that would be another really helpful thing with the engineers list to know who's actually doing what, so you don't
Like a task list and stuff.
yeah.
I totally agree with you. I think like I visualize it as I want to see their name and a picture and what they're doing and what level they are and what their health is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like like a real like a straight up like not RPG-ish, but like RTS kind of. Know what's up with my team, and it's something that we want to do, and we're working on whether or not it should be part of like the in-game real estate or it should be like the HAL. Like maybe the HAL should show that stuff so that you can take your time and it's in a special section and you don't have to be, you don't have to be worried about like, oh my god, I'm getting blown up while I'm trying to manage my engineers.
The Omni Thruster is the one that can actually be steered, right?
Yeah, so if you have an Omni Thruster on board, all you got to do is once it's on board, you'll click on it and it'll turn from red to green. Once it's green, all the green Omni Thrusters will respond to your arrow keys. Yeah.
Okay.
So attach it, and then click on it to turn it green, and then by holding down arrow keys, forward or back or left or right, the Omni Thruster will actually change direction and it'll fire in in such a way as to get you to to move in the direction you're pointing, and it's relative to the camera. So if you actually rotate the camera as you do this, what's left and what's forward is all based on what you're looking at in the camera.
Gotcha. I'm having a hard time breaking the connection here.
Oh, okay. I guess it's going to take me a second to kind of see what you're talking about, but
There we go. It's just having a hard time selecting that connector there, is what it was.
it's always easier if you zoom in when you're doing that kind of real delicate work.
Gotcha. Alright.
Looks like you got it though, so that's cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely having a lot more success this time around, for sure.
I'm really glad. We've worked really hard to reduce the frustration while still letting people be as free as they want to. I've been fascinated how delicate an operation that is. Games give people an incredible amount of freedom, but unless they're intuitive, people get pissed off, and rightly so, right?
Yeah.
We're in the age where games really shouldn't piss people off.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things, it's really with anything, games, websites, technology, toaster ovens. If the interface is bad and it's frustrating to use it, that's what's going to be the most upsetting for a user. Violent video games don't make people violent. If you're winning in Call of Duty or something, you're not going to throw your controller across the room. But if you keep dying on that same level in Super Mario World, that controller's going flying, and that's not a violent game, really.
No, exactly. But it makes you upset. It's like, look, what am I doing wrong? And the thing that's really interesting to me about it is there's a determinism about video games where if it's a fair loss, where it's like you had all the chances and you understand what you were doing, and it turns out that you just didn't make the right call and you didn't shoot the right missiles and you got killed. There's a moment where if the game is done right, you'll be like, okay, that's fair. They got me. That was a good fight, and I lost legitimately. But you go on the wrong side of that argument, and it's like, this is bullshit. What is, you throw your controller and you're all mad because you shouldn't have lost. But what's crazy is that games that do this well, even when you lose, you're like, yeah, I can see that. All right. That was a good fight. That was awesome. I did it right, and it was just they were OP a little bit, and I lost. I'll get them now.
Yeah. So this whoops, the audio's cutting out there for a moment there.
Sorry, man.
That's all right. So I guess I gotta say, like, the sandbox factor of it, the fact that we've been playing for an hour, it totally doesn't feel like we've been playing for an hour.
We've watched some of the analytics kind of roll in, and there's been people who've like left their computer on overnight and just like let it do its thing, and
I've made the incredible ramming ship that can never be destroyed no matter how many explosives it runs into. Now, let's just fly in a direction for a while and see how we go.
I figure if you could find some of those awesome, really big, nasty rockets again, you can get this thing going really fast. And in fact, what you might want to look for is you might want to look for a thing called Turtle Cat. You may have seen them.
I've seen Turtle Cat.
So yeah. Turtle Cat, if you connect Turtle Cat directly to a rocket, it gives it 3 times the thrust.
Yes, I remember this. Because it threw my entire balance of things off. I was just like spinning in place, like, what's going on here?
What's going on? This Turtle Cat is bullshit. But that's a way you can get a really like zippy like small scout ship.
Nice. So we just got the resource. Does everything max out at 20K?
It does for now.
Is that
20K?
It seems like that's the sort of thing where you'd have to add more storage onto your habitats and increase the capacity.
Well, and we might actually we might do it through capacity, and we might do it through level, like we were talking about. Maybe that's how we do it. Ultimately, we don't want to get it over complicated. But I'm always thinking about, okay, so would it be more fun to have like the fuel and the electricity flow through systems, or is that way too like micromanagey?
Gotcha. Yeah.
I know.
Flowing through systems, right? I can definitely see how that could get a little too micromanagey.
Yeah.
But I mean, if there's like, you just need to have enough volume for all the materials, sort of thing. So it's not necessarily that you have a cap of 20K at the start, so much as maybe it's 50K, but you have to add on more stuff and make more room and more storage. And that could be something that later down the road, if each habitat is going to have its own resource pool.
Exactly.
So there's once again, there's just so much direction that you can go with the game, and I'm not gonna say there's no wrong way to go because but it's
I've seen games go a lot of wrong ways.
Yes.
And we're really listening to the players. We're really listening to the community because folks are active and they're vocal on the Steam forums and they're telling us what they want, and I'm trusting that. I'm like, you know what, you're playing the game, and I believe in that. Kind of let's give you what you want. Now, what is going on with your? That is the slowest thruster I've ever seen.
Yeah, so I'm gonna adjust that a little bit here and get the impossible drive on the back first, and then
not that I would ask you to do anything you don't want to do, but you could break off those big ass rockets off of your HQ and replace them on your food truck.
I'd sooner find new ones to put on the food truck, I think.
That's okay.
Oh no! Trying to place it caused things to explode. Oh well.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a crappy bug, and we're trying to find the right way to do that. Oh,
It's just a matter of things being in too close a proximity when you're trying to build, right?
That is correct. What happens is the physics system says, hey, these two things are really close to one another. I should slam them apart as fast as possible.
All right.
And we're trying to like create safety systems where it doesn't happen, and it's just the worst bug. I'm sorry, dude.
That's fine. I notice it also happens if you build two pieces that overlap each other on a facility, because the moment one tries to move, they're trying to like clip through each other and fight each other, and then explosions.
Exactly. All of a sudden we have collision checking and all these other things that are going down. And it ultimately, like, the collision system is all about doing damage, right? That's what we use it for. So then boom. So yeah, we're working on the usability improvements, trying to make it make more sense, and trying to increase the number of happy accidents and trying to decrease the number of sad accidents.
Right, I getcha. Making me think of Bob Ross in here. Happy little accidents.
We were actually considering doing a promo video for Habitat with a Bob Ross kind of feel, where it starts out really like, oh, you can build any habitat you want. You can build happy little habitats, and then all of a sudden the habitat comes under attack and things start spinning out of control, and the Bob Ross guy just flips his shit, like he just goes crazy.
That could be pretty fun, actually.
It could. We just got to find the right. Well, I mean, we even bought the wig, and yeah, we just,
you don't need
we
a wig. You just need someone with curly hair naturally.
Well, it's not me. I mean, I love Bob Ross, man. This does not look right on top of the headphones. Why does it feel so right, though?
That's a good question.
Did you know Legendary Neurotoxin is the Bob Ross of gaming? We should get you to do it. That's what we should do. Do this in Bob Ross style.
I will totally do that. People have been calling me there's me and somebody else that have been called both the Bob Ross of Landmark. So
I guess it is cool because you've got the most chill way of being when it comes to gaming. I mean, could you throw a controller? It could happen. I could see that, but like, you'd have to get a little crazy.
I would only want to throw a controller if it's because I'm playing a game where it's a controller that's designed to be thrown, and that's how you play it. Like some really, really weird Indiecade sort of thing. Like I could see myself getting into that.
It's like that's like Nidhogg, but if you want to throw your sword, you have to throw your controller at the other player.
That might not be so safe.
Oh, why'd you do that? Check it out, I won.
All right.
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna keep the wig on, I think, for a little while.
Nice.
I think you got a request from your fans.
Oh, the SOE live shouts. Yeah, I'll have to I'll have to find you the videos. I can't do it any justice unless I've got the full volume, and like,
oh, wow, really?
for me to yell like that would be kind of inappropriate for this time of day and all of that sort of stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I understand.
There was actually at when the game H1Z1 was doing, or when SOE rather was doing their promotion for H1Z1, their first like, come check out this new game that we've just started working on. We're just showing our first reveal. I actually attended the event that they did, and they brought people in to do a little sit down Q&A sort of stuff. And at the end of it, I said, "So, you guys ready to have me yell on the camera? Because the AV team knows what's up, because that's what I do. I've been doing that since 2012."
Turn down the input.
And it's not so much turn down the input. It's just that they get everything all set and ready to make sure that it's. I guess it is turn down the input so it doesn't blow out the top end or whatever. But
yeah, you don't want it to clip. You want it to be in its full glory.
Yeah. And at that very moment, one of the level designers was walking down the hall. So he just comes to the end of the hall, and I'm there just screaming out the name of the game and scared the crap out of him. In fact, that reaction was actually caught on the camera and filmed along with
Yes.
it. So
It feels like it feels like that's the goal. Like that's a win, you know?
yes. All right, so I'm moving the big thrusters over onto my my puncheon ship here.
Uh-oh. Sounds like you're going with the Charles Cox model.
Yeah, it's a living tower attached to some retrofitted containers. So
Well, when we get citizens in, which will be in December, then it's going to be a really tough choice, right? You got people living in that living tower. Do you are you ready to use that as an attack ship or what?
yeah, that's a good point. Let's see.
We got our Habitat branded Oakleys that I'll put on here. There we go.
Alright, trying to destroy that connection,
It's got kind of everything going on here.
that connection, so that way I can attach. Oops. That's right. You can't do the connectors to do the attachment stuff unless it's already attached.
Yeah, that's right. Though we did talk a little bit about how you can use the connector mode to create to actually attach two habitats together.
Nice.
So you can
yeah.
actually merge A and B together, but you have to maneuver the one next to the other and use the connector mode.
Gotcha.
Twins on camera. I love it. Just gonna go ahead and take a couple of screenshots of that. So when's the next SOE live?
They do it once a year. It's usually in about August. They had it in October a couple years back, but it's whenever it works out the most. What do you mean the interview's gone off the rails? We're mostly here playing Habitat, and it just so happens that we get to have the guy who kind of started everything here is in charge of stuff hanging out with us. Off the rails.
I don't know. Off the rails is fine. It's a Saturday. It's good times.
It's a sandbox game. You're supposed to do this.
Yeah. You got this though. This is gonna be good. Now, did you see you got another neutralized station mission?
Oh, nice. Oh,
I don't know where the station is, but if you
I know it's gonna get 2 KO gloves and probably some other like a drill I'll probably put in the front and just
it's gonna get 2 KO gloves and a drill.
yeah. I think that's how I'm gonna roll with this. The shooting things is fun, but I kind of want to see what ramming things is like. All right. Let's see. Gotta rotate this so that it's the right way, the right orientation, the right positioning. I think this is good. I wanted to make sure it was completely balanced with the other side here.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to. It looks like it's gonna be good. Oh, you got to do the other connector though.
Which? Oh yeah.
You got it, I think. I think you have it.
Let's see.
Yeah, now I'm sitting here wondering, like, so if Bob Ross had sunglasses, would he be like, we do that to like put them on top of his head? It's a lot of storage. It's kind of a lot of storage space up there.
A little bit, yeah. There's quite a bit of room. So I'm seeing that I've got enough room for one connector on one side here, going from the side rocket to the front part, but I can't do it on this one. I guess the connections can only be so long.
Yeah, there's a length limit, but you probably should be able to go from the front part of the tower to that frontmost connector on the rocket. That might yeah.
Let's see. From here to there. Nah, it's fine. Just so long as they're attached to this main tower, that's I think the most important. Can that connect? That can connect to that, and that can't connect to that. Oh well.
Looks solid. Looks solid to me.
Alright. So we need to Reassign will give you... I think we're going to give you one... Well, whoops. How do I remove binding from something?
You can use the R key on a bound object, and that'll remove the hotkey.
Okay.
Where'd my glasses go? Kind of.
Yeah, they're somewhere up there.
Hang on, I got them. Are we ready to take this thing for a spin?
Yeah, I think so. I gotta first head over and grab that drill, but that's basically a straight line.
Sweet, that's great. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Light this candle.
I like that
Right,
space tower thing you've got going on there. It's that giant tower going outside the atmosphere on the planet's surface.
yeah, the space elevators. We're trying to figure out if there's kind of a way that can be useful, like, you know, when the planet rotates around to the certain point, maybe that's when they can do deliveries, or trying to make it a part of gameplay without it being...
How does this have rotation? Everything's balanced.
It might be your engineers. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe they're hanging off. Gonna raise my blast shield glasses.
I've
look at this.
got both engineers actually, one on the left glove and one on the right. Actually, that's probably a bad place for them.
Actually, you've got two engineers hanging off the left side.
Two of them on the left side? I only saw one.
One of them's hanging off of the rocket. And
Really?
he's getting a hell of a tan.
Oh, I see him there. Asteroids. Asteroids should have more hard points.
Yeah, well, we're trying to figure out, like, we're going to have actual junk towns that are built on asteroids that are actually immovable. So you can actually do combat around them without them being, you know, moved around and things.
Oh, neat. My idea was having like 50 hard points on one of those and just turning into the Death Star, basically.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Different asteroids. It could be ones that are like more of a mining asteroid, and one that's more just like dense crap rock that it's going to be solid, but there's really no reason to mine it.
Yeah, I think as long as we can, like, visually distinguish which one is which, make it really clear, then people can decide what the value is before they get there. You don't have to go there and be like, oh, right, I'm gonna get this is a crap asteroid.
The crap ones, those are the ones that are just floating around with a bunch of, you know, craters all up in their surfaces. The ones that are actually more of the nicer resources maybe have like streaks of different ore and stuff kind of showing on the outside, and be more of a smoother, kind of like porous but not like cavities.
Yeah. That reminds me of the old Spaceward Ho game. Way back in the day for like Windows PC, you had all these different planets you could explore, but they would show you what the planet looked like, and you could always tell a crap planet. Like, you just know from looking at it, you're like, oh, there's nothing on that one. Never mind, I'm not going there. Nobody wants to go there.
So I'm having a hard time with the placement here. I can't get the drill on the... There we go. I was pressing V and it wasn't cooperating.
Oh yeah, it's definitely on like it was on a weird connector.
How can I tell it to use the rear connector?
That's V. V and B, I think.
Oh, B.
So
that one's on B for sure.
Got it.
Okay. Cool. We'll get the drill, and I think I can probably attach the drill to the punch gloves to get them a little more reinforcement, or is that a bad idea?
Oh, sorry. Let me take a look.
Because once I've got the drill in place...
Yeah. Now, what was going to be a bad idea?
If I attach the gloves to the drill to give them a little bit more reinforcement.
I think it's a good idea, personally.
All right. There we go. It seems like any time where you can add extra reinforcement, you should, and eventually there's going to be, like you were saying, those level limitations. Is the drill always going?
No, you can turn it off by clicking it again.
Okay, I think it's just because I was in connector mode.
Yeah, you'll notice while it's running, it's taking a significant amount of electricity.
Yes, 50 a second.
Yep. So you're still in connector mode, so you'll have to exit that.
Yeah, when I go to ram something, it's gonna know it's coming.
That's right. Woo.
Let's see. Here's here. All right. A line between objectives would be great.
Oh, so that you could see where they are?
Yeah, or even just an auto-orient camera, so it's, between you and it is kind of a straight plane along the middle.
Yeah. Well, what we'll have that'll help you out in this next update is the off-screen arrows. And so if you can imagine an arrow kind of going around the edge of your screen, pointing at the bad guy and giving you a distance, that's kind of what we're doing in the next update. So
Nice.
yeah, a little something to help you. Now, it looks like between you and the bad guy, there's a minefield.
A little bit.
I think you can probably just scoot around the edge of it.
Oh, why has it got that orientation? It's weird. It keeps on spinning the wrong way. Or maybe that's because I need like a rudder or something to kind of right it a bit.
You know what I think it is? If you zoom in, I think I know why. Look at the distance between Rocket 1 and the tower and Rocket 2 and the tower.
It
2
is.
further,
That's what
off.
it is.
Yeah.
I thought
it's further off board.
thought I got to balancing that, but I guess not. So
Well, don't forget, if you want to, you can go into the HAL and you can tune down the rocket that's too overpowered.
I'd rather have them at full capacity.
Well, I get that. Don't worry. I understand. So let's see. Where is this bad guy?
He's basically lined up straight ahead from me now, I believe.
Sounds good, man. You and your boxing glove drill ship, I think are gonna go and mess up some fools.
Yeah, I see what you mean about the minefield. Let's see. Oh, when I'm in full screen mode, my mouse can go off the left side to the second monitor.
Oh, yeah. We haven't done a lot of tuning on second monitor yet. If you find that interferes with your I don't know if you're using edge scrolling to move the camera or WSAD.
Little of both.
But you can, if you need to turn edge scrolling off, if it's a problem, you can turn it off through the options menu. At this point, we don't have a lot of control of the second monitor. We just haven't really put a lot of dev time into it, but it's good to know. I think it's something I've heard before from other Twitch streamers that like, whoa, hey, wait a minute, my other screen.
Yeah, most Twitch streamers have to use 2 monitors, so
it makes sense. I think we just need to do a bit more there to make it make sense. I think that's not quite the right. I think you gotta hit B a couple more times.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Keeps rotating the wrong way.
Oh no! A combination of basically B is going to be your friend there.
I want to see how far away am I on that
I think
side.
it's just one unit.
Yeah. There we go. That should be good.
Yeah, man.
Alright. And then the repairing damaged node right when they connect a node is kind of silly.
Yeah, they wouldn't say it if it wasn't damaged. So that's the question is, well, what happened?
Yeah.
How did it get hurt? So. Oh yeah, you see the rocket's got 491 health and not 500, so something hurt it. It used to be that when we did destruction of connectors, it would actually do damage, but we turned that off. Hopefully, hope we turned it off.
All right, let me get that away so I don't run into it.
Yeah.
And then you, engineer, get back on this one. You get back on this one. In fact, everybody, Control A, get back on here.
That's another feature that people want. They want to be able to marquee select, all the engineers and just be like, everybody swarm that station.
Yeah.
A useful thing to know is if there is an enemy station that you're having trouble with, if you assign engineers to go to an enemy station, once they reach it, they'll actually start tearing it apart.
Oh, so if it doesn't have guns on that approach vector, or do guns not attack engineers?
Guns will attack engineers. They actually will begin to fire at engineers. So the question is whether or not you can actually provide enough cover to keep the engineers safe. But if engineers are alive and they'll actually start working on like sawing the habitat off, and they'll actually break pieces off of it. So.
I have to divert for this turtle cat. I gotta get some more thrust on this thing.
Yep. Now the thing that's going to be tricky is you got to attach the turtle cat in such a way that it connects to both of your rockets, because if it connects to just one of them, you're going to have a very bad day.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna put it kind of in the rear of the living tower there, and then see if I can put it on both from there. Should be able to. But I've got to make sure also that it's not in such a way that the turtle cat is intersecting the living tower, because then bad things. Okay, turtle cats. It's got a front and a rear. Does it have any other locations?
It should. Is left and a right, basically, is what it is.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Not a front and a rear.
That is all it has.
Okay, so let's see if I can.
It's got to be a direct connection. So let's see what happens if you connect it to rocket number 2 on its sort of its left side, its port side. How far can you move it away?
Well, actually, I'm gonna see if I can work it this way.
Maybe it'll work.
It'll be slightly off because the endpoints or the build points aren't 1-to-1 with the kind of the grid there, but it'll probably be close.
The question is whether or not you're going to be able to reach it.
Because if not, the other thing I can do is just have it sideways and put this retired satellite on and just give it some fire in the rear sort of thing.
That's a really good idea, actually. That seems like a good backup plan. So at least one of your rockets, and your most central one has got like all the oomph to it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good way.
Turtle cat doesn't affect the electricity consumption, does it?
It should not.
Okay, cool.
I say that, but
if I was doing a 24-hour Extra Life marathon, this would probably not be too bad of a game. Like, I could see in 24 hours, it's like, all right, I completed 10 missions and built like 8 habitats.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Like I expected there to be. I expected there to be kind of a slow pace to the game. I expected to be kind of capital ship, combat and things like that. What I didn't kind of prepare for, what I didn't realize was there's almost a hypnotic element to it. It's kind of, unless you're in combat, it's kind of chill. And that was kind of completely just by happy accident of everything, the music and the speed of it and everything. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. You can spend a lot of time here. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes a good sandbox. People don't play 4Xs because it's one and done in an hour. Oh,
no way. No. You're like, look, I'm invested in this. I'm a huge Civ 5 player, and I fall in love with my civilization and its people, and I get into the intrigues, and this stuff matters to me. If you turn the turtle cat the other way, yeah, you got it.
I remember reading about somebody who'd been playing like Civ 2 or Civ 3 for over 10 years. They had a campaign going. The entire world was mostly irradiated. Like, there weren't much in the way of resources, and they're like, asking the community, what can I do to move forward here? And one of them was that a lot of people were saying the first thing you need to do is try to do what you can to establish peace between everybody, because if you can't do that, then it's just going to be war for pretty much the next 100 years or whatever that you've already played.
Well, because there's no resources left, so anybody who wants to live is gonna want whatever's left. So it's like, if you can't establish peace, it's a lifetime of warfare. Maybe that's what some people want. I don't know. I try to, if I have to attack, I try to attack, take as much territory, and make peace as fast as possible. I want to get it, done and over with.
Gotcha. Alright, so we've got it all set up here. Let me reassign my controls. 1, 2 for the middle. Hey, where's my 3?
Yeah, no kidding. What happened?
We got Habitat A and see if there's a 3 assigned. Oh, it's the guns on here.
There you go. 4. Don't forget, you can use control and the number to directly assign something if you want to.
There we go. And 4 is going to be the industrial drill.
Yep.
Okay. Whoops. So that time I actually did manage to click off the edge when I meant to get to neutralize core.
Whoopsies.
Yeah. Or the catchphrase on the show here. Whoops.
Whoops.
It comes up quite a bit.
Habitat seems like the kind of game there's a couple of whoopses.
It's the whoopses really happen when I'm playing like a hardcore platformer, puzzle platformer sort of thing, and I'm just like, I can't get out the first door. There's like some place where I get to it and you just die every time because the puzzle's not intuitive. That's usually where whoops comes in. All right. Yeah, that's got some speed to it.
Let's take a look.
That's
yeah, you're rocking.
That is
now you're ready. You're ready for this. You're ready for this thing.
A deadly amount of mass to be driving into something.
Well, and that's the thing is like if it really comes down to it, man, just just ramming speed.
Definitely something where you can find where the objective is, though, because I'm having a hard time trying to click back between the places and.
I totally agree with you. It's one of the first things we fixed in this patch that's going to be coming out soon, and it feels so much better. And the other thing that I really love about the patch that's coming up is this camera lock. So when you click B or when you click A, it is locked to it, and you can just kind of chill out and watch it fly. You don't have to.
You're trying to turn my camera view. That's hilarious.
I was. I swear, I was pressing Q and E. I'm like, I wonder what's over there, and I'm like, oh crap! I'm not.
I do the same thing too.
I'm not playing this game.
Yeah, I do the same thing too. Like when I'm watching people play Landmark or some other games, like I want to highlight things and see what's going on, or see what's like. Well, what if they angle up the camera a moment? I want to see what's over there.
It'd be really interesting. It'd be really interesting if that was kind of like the next Twitch. I know it sounds really weird, but like, so games expose kind of their own proprietary stream of information where. If you own the game, you can actually have a semi-interactive version of it you're watching. So I can turn your camera. It doesn't screw with you, but I can see some other stuff you can't see. Or I can like hover over stuff and see things. I guess that's observer mode, but it'd be super cool if it was standardized and like Twitch would do that. That would be freaking awesome.
It seems like that's the sort of thing that's going to be more of an in-game client sort of thing. Like, I don't know how it's going to work with Upsilon Circuit, but the idea for that is it's a game where there's only 8 people in the world at a time, but it's got the full story arc. There's permadeath, so if your character dies, that's it for you.
Whoa.
But people in chat are constantly doing things that will give them level ups and experience, and I'm sure there'll be some way that you'll be able to see what's going on elsewhere in the world than where those 8 players are at.
So what is this? Because maybe I don't even know what
this is Robot Loves Kitty's major project, the makers of Legend of Dungeon and some other games. It's called Upsilon Circuit. It's basically kind of a MMO game show sort of thing. Hosted by this hilarious personality they created, Ronnie Reagan, which is basically if Ronald Reagan was turned into Max Headroom. That's kind of what you get.
That's pretty cool. I'm pretty much sold already.
Yeah, it's. I got a first little exposure to it when I had them on for an interview in I want to say July or August, and everything I've seen from it since then, I'm super excited for it. It's a game I could probably see myself putting aside some time every day to play.
Well, until you die.
Well, play or interact with chat. I mean, it's the sort of thing where having an actual talk show on it and being able to interview like players that did major things in the game and that sort of stuff, I think would be really cool.
It's so clever because it's kind of like that's kind of like the next meta place games is going, right? Because here we are, we're playing games, we're watching games, we're talking about games, and then if the conversation can be dynamic, and you're basically playing the game without having to play it. Everybody can interact in the little time slice they want to. That's the next.
Ramming speed! Brace yourselves!
I'm ready for this.
I should probably break my engineers off to something else, shouldn't I?
You can break them. You can break them off onto the station if you want them to swarm the station. The station will probably be busy shooting at your ship.
Bam!
You turned on your drill, right? I can't tell.
Yeah, I thought I did, but it doesn't look like it. Because the drill just kind of clipped in and didn't obliterate everything.
Woo-wee!
Well, I think I might have lost an engineer, but I saved saved most of them.
Oh, jeez.
That's fine. I can build more, and meanwhile, I've got 2 engineers out here.
And the poor Ferris wheel died too.
Yep. You know, this is actually not a bad starting point. I mean, I just need to be able to write it, and I don't know. It's not letting me.
Oh, all you gotta do is click on the bus itself.
Oh, there we
and then,
go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So this actually has its own steering to it, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. As long as you don't care, as long as it doesn't, matter to you which way the front is pointing, you can just kind of.
Well, there's a stubby booster rocket hanging out over here, so I can bring that
There you
over.
go.
And where can I attach stuff to the bus? Oh, I see.
Roger that.
Are they still trying to get the bus righted, or is it just kind of tip over on
Let
its
me
own
see.
when it doesn't have
Let
stuff
me
attached?
see. I don't think anybody's trying to write the bus. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Is there you go. Now it's ready.
There we go. We got that. I see a tether launcher.
Oh, tether launchers are great. We're trying to find more uses for the rope physics, but that's the tether launcher is currently the way to use rope physics. If you can fire the tether launcher and hit another object, whether it's another habitat or one of your own things, now it's attached by a rope, and you can drag it around and smash it into stuff.
So how do these matter accelerators? Do I need to write it, and then do I use it as an attachment on the ship, or?
Yeah, if you write the matter accelerator and you point the fangs outward, basically, when you activate the matter accelerator, anything that's in between the fangs gets shot out at high speed,
Gotcha.
including projectiles. So it's a way to actually reflect like bad guys' bullets back at them.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got the bus going here. I can try to steer it a little bit, I guess.
Sure. Go ahead and make sure you click it to turn it green,
Yeah.
and then you can steer it with the arrow keys.
I'll pick up
Beep.
the.
Beep beep.
Let's see. I see. Not gonna get the tether launcher. Not gonna get the robot arm. But what else is there around here? Piston. That's not doing much for me. Another matter accelerator. That's not doing much for me. There's a bunch of matter accelerators around this base.
Just happens to be the object du jour, I guess. Hey,
Yeah.
I saw a big rocket over there.
Everything is procedural, isn't it?
Yeah, we all the fields of junk are procedurally generated, and the goal that we're actually headed toward is there are going to be multiple sectors that you can go between, and those sectors are going to have junk fields. They're going to have towns, like actual asteroid towns, where there are missions that you can pick up and do things. So different kind of, it's not terrain since it's space, but it's kind of the closest thing. There's a flavor or a layout to each sector that makes it unique.
Gotcha.
Yep, we have a lot of ambitions for the game, and we're taking our time and we're building an audience. We're not I don't know, we're not trying to go like crazy broad right away and try to make it the game that's gonna, be a Halo killer or whatever. We're trying to be we're trying to be geeky, and we're trying to do something fun and new and listen to the community, and what I think is difficult for, I think a lot of game developers, it takes time, and so we're being we're being open and building something that we like and the community likes, and putting the features in as they're ready. And it's been fun to be in early access to do this. I feel like, gamers' opinions on early access have kind of changed over the months, and so
I would say
we're trying to
early
be one of
access is something that more gamers are actually starting to get into. It used to be something that, oh, games are early access, whatever, I'll spend money on it when it comes out. Now everybody's like, oh, I can play the early version and maybe get some exclusive stuff, or just play it before I actually have to pay for it so I know.
Yeah.
And I've also seen a reduction in demo versions of games over the years, significantly since like the 90s.
You and me both. It's been amazing. Like no demos anymore. Period. I mean, they don't exist. And I think a lot of that is because a lot of people will go onto Twitch or YouTube and they'll watch people play the games. That's enough. Like they'll know by watching watching some YouTube videos.
Even sooner than that, I would say as soon as.
Look at you, man! Using your retro rocket. That is awesome.
The CD and DVD era started coming to a close, and everything became digital distribution. It was real easy to bundle a demo. The demo for Diablo, for example, was on some other game, and then Diablo itself, you had the demo version too if you want to just install and play the first 2 floors with your buddies. There's been a lot of that stuff. The Final Fantasy games used to have the demo bundled on some other game, like I think Tobal number 1 or whatever is what Final Fantasy VII demo was linked with. So a lot of people just rented the game just to play that Final Fantasy VII demo.
Ah, that's awesome. Actually, I think it's pretty cool. I think that I think the thing I remember the most when I think of like bundled demos, I remember the full version of Quake 1 coming on that CD-ROM, and all of id Software's other games were also on there.
That's awesome.
And there were demos, like you could actually unlock them. They were the full versions, but you had to buy them, and then they gave you a code, and then that would unlock the game that came on the CD-ROM. So
nice. There's 3D Realms. 3D Realms just had a bundle recently, all 32 of their games for like $20.
I saw that. Is it on their own site or Steam or what?
I believe it's on their own site, because I don't know if the games have Steam link up.
Because it was like, because that was back when it was like Apogee, and then they became 3D Realms.
Yeah.
So like it's all the Apogee games too, right?
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
Did I link this up properly? Yes, I did. All right.
Looks good.
We've got a missile launcher on a bus. Let's take that
Nice.
station down.
I'm ready to see all this, because you're not too far away from the station, are you?
No.
Excellent.
There's a collect reward, and it's bringing me back to the previous crate power-up, the reward crate.
Sounds like a bug to me.
But it's because I haven't won yet either, so it's the old reward crate is still...
Collect the saved crate. Well, that's easy enough.
Yeah, now let's see if it actually gives me the rewards. It'd be
Now
my fuel that would be increasing. No.
Actually, I see another crate power up. That's a different one. That's all right. You'll get a bonus here in just a second.
Oh, whoops! I attached that crate to my thruster, and now I've made a Habitat C. Whoops. I'm gonna have to.
Well, that answers your question. You can attach it to any habitat you want. it's just a rocket and a crate. Hooray!
Yep. All right. Wait, where'd my objective go? I didn't take down that station. Oh, there it is. The station's still there, but the objective is no longer active.
Well, there should be another objective popping up for you here pretty soon.
I still have to take that station down.
Yeah, you do. Uh-oh, nanocloud. I would check where that cloud is, because unlike the stations, the cloud is on its way to you from somewhere.
Okay, so I definitely need to go back to A, break the connection here, connect it back where it's supposed to be. This goes...
Ooh. Which way is the cloud heading? Is it heading toward your habitat A or B?
I believe it's heading towards A. It's heading right to A.
All right. Well, I know that you got some strong feelings about these nanoclouds. So.
Well, it's just that I didn't quite have the wherewithal to deal with them properly before, and now I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like he's going to be there in no time.
Yeah, so I definitely am just kind of steering to get myself in position right now. Oh yeah, there is another crate power-up hanging out over there for some reason. Alright. I wonder, does it put the crate power-up where your Habitat A is at the start of the...
At the start, yeah, but remember, well, you know what's weird is that you've moved your Habitat A quite a ways, and it looks like the new crates ended up next to your Habitat A, so...
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to go where your Habitat A is, but I know that at some point
I think
You know
it's
what it
where
might
your
be? It might
Habitat
be
A is when you start
when
the
the mission
Yeah.
starts. There you go. Yes. All right, get ready.
Yep, I'm just basically straightening out at this point.
Well, you got your double rocket launcher kind of bank that you can use.
Oh no! They both are funny angles. Hold on a second. Let me get in the computer.
Computer.
Tighten those up a little bit here. So your firing angle cannot be adjusted. And
Not the yeah.
There we go. That should be good. There we go. Sending more shots. Come on. Readjust.
Taking some hits here.
Yeah. But I'm getting some
Ouch.
hits in too. How tough are these things?
I don't know if you haven't got. I don't think you got a direct hit yet, and I think that's what it takes.
Oh. I guess I'm out of range, huh?
Yeah, I think these ones are gonna do it. Jeez.
Yeah, those are missing. Those aren't even hitting. Those are going over the cloud.
No, they shouldn't. They should go right through.
Nah,
Darn
they,
it.
on my screen it looked like they went way over them.
Approaching node.
Oh, looks
So-
like it's going to be ramming speed at this point. Maybe you could drag a mine into it.
You got repairing damage node.
You know, or just get the heck out.
Yeah, I can't even do that either.
Roger that.
Oh no! Oh, they're so
Yeah.
evil, these nano machines.
Yeah. Well, it's just if I was actually able to have the shots hit it.
I know, and I'm sorry about that. Looks like it was close, but no cigar.
And everything's supposed to basically kind of work on one plane, right?
Yes, exactly. Though I know
I
there
just
is
dropped
the
a mine on it and it still didn't die.
Oh no!
It's got 95 health left.
2, 1. 95 is close. It's ow. How's your HQ holding up there, buddy?
It's got 1,000 health or so left.
Let's
I think
see.
I've got a bunch of engineers working on it right now, though.
Let's see. Well, what can you cobble together?
I've got a ducky that I'm gonna send to it.
There you go.
I gotta kind of lead it a little bit here. Oh no! Engineer hit the ducky on the crate there, and it kind of sent it
Bonk.
flying. I'm still getting repairs though. I think so.
Well, the question is whether or not it's sufficient.
I think it is. I'm not going down too fast, and this duck's
Oh, it
gonna
looks
be
like
here
looks
pretty
like you
soon.
can survive. Yeah. Well, and one of the things you could try to do is, that use the duck as a bit of a shield or something, just temporarily,
You got it.
so you can reposition.
You got it.
Oh shoot.
Approaching node.
Oh no! It knocked my ducky away. I was trying to detonate it. It didn't want to detonate, but then it got flung away.
Well, as a single object, you can't activate an object until it's part of a habitat. So you'd have to attach the ducky to something else.
But the mine you can, because it's not.
Oh yeah, the mine is not attachable to your habitat anyway, so it acts a little bit differently. We'll have to kind of call that stuff out. My goodness, looks like it's kind of a rough day for your habitat.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be over here pretty soon. That's fine. At least I understand how things work now.
Well, it seems like, I mean, you've built some great creations. You've successfully taken down stations. You've navigated at high speeds.
More than one habitat,
a lot of the
too.
things that, yeah, a lot of the things that you need to know to be a great habitat commander. You're doing like gangbusters.
And now they're coming for my my escapee vessel here. That's
Oh,
I didn't even
no.
turn it off, so it's still just kind of going. That's
Where
fine.
is it?
It's out in somewhere. Apparently near another random crate power up that looks like it's got goodies in it. So
Right on.
let's just, I guess, attach that to the side here for a moment. It is definitely coming in hot on me here, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think it could probably
Yeah.
go pretty fast.
It
Beach.
can most likely catch up to me.
Beat you at raw speed, yeah.
There we go. So you can attach, well, I guess because I don't have the HQ anymore.
Approaching node.
But yeah, it was able to attach to the bus and get me the resources there. Okay, so let's get the thruster going again here. Whoops.
Absolutely.
And if it's coming for us, at least I can be aiming at it with the missiles and see if the bus missiles are on the right plane.
Well, I mean, if the nanomachine was down to 95 health, I actually think you got some hits on it. I think
Okay.
that it just wasn't quite enough. How far away is he, do you think?
A long way. I mean, it's hard to say because I can't really zoom out to, dots on the screen sort of view. So
No, not yet. Yeah, we're thinking about, do we have a mini map? What kind of navigation things are we going to have? Lots of possibilities. We just want to do the thing that makes the most sense for the player and is the most useful.
Right, that makes sense. All right, so let's see. I can't really rotate it too well with the top thruster on the bus here, can I?
No, and that's probably because the thruster, because it's in the middle between the booster rocket and the rocket launcher, is actually at the exact center of mass of your habitat.
Okay, so to rotate, I basically have to be going sideways and have the thruster behind.
Right.
Giving it.
Basically, in order to rotate or have angular momentum, the point of thrust has got to be off the center of mass somehow. You could attach something to the back to kind of influence the center of mass.
We're already kind of in a silly position. I'm just going to put this T-Rex head on here and use it to help me out.
That's good. That's a flamethrower, so that's a good short-range weapon.
Job's all done.
All right.
Da-da-da-da. Just make sure you don't turn your rocket launcher to fire at your T-Rex head.
Yeah.
It's all right. There you go.
All
Yeah,
right.
if you click the T-Rex head, you can get flamethrower going.
Cool. Yeah, that's. I noticed there's a lot of funny things like that. I got the. I think I got the Statue of Liberty head going in one of the runs I was doing.
Yep. There you go. Now you see you got it turning because you've moved the center of mass a bit. It's not a fast turn, but that's enough to do it. And then you can probably counteract the turn by using your Omni thruster. Did it?
Yeah, it's a ways out actually. It was a
Yeah.
long way out.
It's all right.
I'm basically
We'll get-
looking to just line up on it and then fly straight at it.
That sounds like the way to be. You may have to ditch the T-Rex head though, because
Yeah, I
it does
will.
look like you have a little bit of a list, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's
off
what I
to
was
the-
trying to do to get some rotation on it, and then I guess I'll just disconnect it to help, because that cloud's still a ways out.
I actually haven't seen as a very cool, very nuanced thing to do that, to just change the mass a little bit to affect a turn. That's pretty cool. It was adding a physical, like a rudder
Wow, that cloud is so far out. Okay.
I'm glad it left your HQ alone.
Well, it destroyed the HQ.
Well, it's
Or it destroyed all the connections on it, so it's just
yeah,
the HQ
and then,
on
and then
its
it,
own.
yeah, it's just limp. Yeah,
Arctic Igloo, what the hell is that for?
it doesn't really do much. It's just there. Let me see here. What does it do? If you just leave your mouse on it, I don't think it does anything.
Transplant for Arctic regions. Adobe built a frozen water, providing superior insulation.
Probably not a bad choice for space.
Yeah, you know, it probably would do fairly well in space, to be perfectly honest.
You just have to figure out that whole situation with the oxygen, I guess.
This bus wouldn't be misplaced in a zombie movie. Yeah, you might be right about that. Too lazy for this.
Hey, look, you found the Statue of Liberty.
Yep, I found the, they blew it up! Yeah, actually, you know what? Full stop. I'm gonna swap my armament.
Nice. Well, I actually have another appointment to get off to. I've got a couple of appointments today because, of course, today is the big Twitch day for Extra Life. So
Yep.
I've got another place to be at 3. I know we've still got that raffle that needs to be taken care of. So I'll make sure, whoever it is, I'll just work with you, make sure that they get a Steam key for Habitat.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it has been awesome having you on here. Here's one question though: is this head gonna
Sure.
fire forward, or where's it gonna? It looks. I guess
It fires from the spikes on its crown. It's a 6 laser array.
Nice. Very cool. Oh no, my
You know that-
engineer's all back there. Oh wait,
It
if I
sounds like
create
that-
new engineers, they're gonna come from here, aren't they?
They're going to come from the big Habitat HQ.
Oh no.
And the nanomachine cloud is getting close.
Yeah.
Approaching node.
Well, it's
There goes
sad to
that.
say it's sad to say I won't know how this ends. I wish you
Nah.
the very, very best of luck. And,
I think I'm just gonna start over here pretty soon. But yeah.
I've really enjoyed coming on. It's been really cool to watch you play, and it seems like you've got the Habitat basics down. So go have fun, and hope to see you on another show.
Absolutely, for sure. And you know, anytime you guys have an update or porting to a new platform or anything like that, love to get you back on here for some more love for the game here. And if you want to get some more faces on too, we're totally down for that. But,
Right on. Well, and as you're a big Sony fan, I mean, I hope you know that Habitat will be coming to PS4.
Nice.
So
More on the
PS
SOE side than SCEA, but yeah, I like Sony.
All right, that sounds
Yeah.
good. It'll be coming to it's PC, Mac, and Linux now, and then it'll be coming to Xbox One and PS4 later. So
Is this the sort of thing that could run on a Vita or an Nvidia Shield, do you think?
it's a good question. We've worked really hard to make it not be as graphically or as CPU hungry as a lot of games. We've tried to be very lean. Could it work on these devices? I guess we should maybe do some research and find out.
For sure. All right, but this is definitely. I want to let you get going. It's starting to get kind of hot in here, so I gotta actually get the AC on. So, this is a good time to wrap things up. Everybody, thank you all very much for coming.